Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Jill Kane and I help health and wellness entrepreneurs build thriving online businesses with simple systems and strategies so they can reach all of their financial goals without compromising on their quality of life. And today's topic I want to dive into today is how to identify a profitable niche in the health and wellness industry. So I dive into this actually quite a bit in my Facebook group as well as in my 5-day training series, because this is something, no matter if you're a newer entrepreneur or coach, or you've been at this for a while, it's always something that's evolving and that you need to revisit quite frequently in order to make sure that everything else in your business is aligning. So if your messaging feels off, if you're not attracting the right people, this is always where we come back to, is looking at your ideal client profile. But specifically, I want to talk about this idea of identifying a profitable niche. Now, a couple of times I've heard things like, only people who are wealthy can afford to hire a health coach or a personal trainer, or people kind of assume that it's really the more well-off people that you need to exclusively target. And I want to dive into that a little bit because it's not necessarily the case, right? So there's much more and many more layers to the situation here. So what we have to really figure out when we're looking at what area we want to focus in on are a couple of things. So first of all, calling yourself a health coach or a trainer or a practitioner, whatever your label is according to your job title, that's fine. But then you want to make sure that you have also that you're specializing, right? So you don't want to be a generalist, you want to be a specialist. Specialists get paid more, they're more easily referable. If you know somebody who specializes in something, you can refer that person to multiple people versus somebody who's a general practitioner. They're not always going to be the most easy to refer because they're very general in all the services that they provide. So you want to pick something that you want to become known for and known as the specialist in that area, the go-to person, right? So really think about that. Now, the other thing I want to mention with picking a profitable niche is that you want to look at what the problem is that you solve. So instead of looking at the who, we're looking at what is the problem that we solve. Is it weight loss? Is it a particular health condition that you help people with? So let's identify the problem, which you probably are pretty clear on. And then we want to identify and go a few layers deeper. What are those deeper underlying problems that this person has? So if it's weight loss, it's not just about the weight loss, it's how they feel. Are they not as confident? Are they not able to promote themselves at work because they don't feel confident going for that promotion or taking on a big project? Do they struggle with fitting into clothes that just don't make them feel good? Are they hesitant to put on a bathing suit at the beach? So there's all kinds of other things that go into it. Maybe it's more serious than that. Maybe it's things like they can't fly in an airplane or go on particular rides or keep up with their kids. Maybe it's things like that that they really seriously need some help with. Now, when it comes to something like weight loss, for example, sometimes people put things off. So they know that these are problems and they've identified these are problems in their life that keep happening, but the pain isn't great enough to get them to act, right? There usually comes a point where there's a defining moment where they look at themselves in the mirror, or they aren't able to do something with their kids, or it's some kind of aha moment where they realize this isn't going to get any better unless I go get some help. I'm using weight loss as an example, but this can apply to anything. So it could be a digestive issue that's preventing them from going out and feeling like they can't really see their friends or feel isolated. Of course, in the times we're in now, that applies to a lot of us anyways, but even more so for people who struggle with these health conditions. They're thinking, oh, am I at a greater risk for catching something in something more serious and having more complications? So these are real problems right now and really things that people need help with. So when you think about it, you want to be thinking about not just the problem that you solve and the demographic information like the age and, you know, is it males or females that I serve, what are their ages, what are their life stages. Those are important things, but you really want to get into the psychographics, which is how people think. So when we know how people think about the problem that they have, is it something that is kind of this problem that's been hanging on for a while, but I don't really feel motivated to take action and get some help with it? Or is it urgent? You want it to be something that is already urgent for them, right? Because we're not going after people to convince them to work with us. We never are doing that. We're here to make ourselves available to the people who have already identified and said, yes, I'm at that point, I need help and I want help. And I'm just trying to decide, is it this health coach or is it you? Is it this trainer or is it you? Is it this practitioner or is it you? And you want it to be you. So if you want that client, you have to be very, very clear on the problem that you solve, the underlying things that they're struggling with, and really identifying and being able to articulate that to them as well, that this is a much deeper issue and that we help work through all of that. Because especially when it comes to our health and wellness, there's a lot of mindset involved. There's a lot of just the emotional well-being that takes place, because in any kind of transformation, you're not just changing out what you're eating and exercising more, but there's this whole other shift that's going on the inside. So if you're somebody who can articulate that really well to your client, they're going to feel safer with you. They're going to feel that you can get them the result that they want and that they're going to feel good about it as well, so that you're going to be along on the journey, not just being prescriptive in what you do. So those are some things to think about. I think when it comes to identifying a profitable niche, it's not just about going after wealthy people, but thinking about who really needs this help and finding a way to let them know that you are available to help them when they're ready as well. So you have to meet them where they're at and be able to articulate that in your content, in your videos, in everything that you do online. You want to be able to make sure that they really understand that you understand their problem, that you are the one, and really also speaking to what it is that makes you different than your competitors, let's just say. So you don't want to market yourself in a way where you're not saying some nice things about other people, but what I'm trying to say is you want to highlight the things that you do differently and why this time it's going to be different. Because when it comes to helping people with their health problems, more often than not, I bet a lot of the clients that you do work with have already tried other things, whether they've hired another coach, they've seen a different doctor, or they've read a book, they've done an app or a program. So they've done something probably that didn't get them the result that they wanted. So you need to identify what that gap is and articulate it to them that you are here to help them and you will fill in that gap. So oftentimes that gap is the personalization piece or the accountability piece and feeling supported along the way. So how you show up and how you can explain that to people in a way that makes them feel comforted and makes them know that you're not going to just hand them off a diet plan, hand them off an exercise program and wish them well, that you're actually here for them and you're here along the journey. So hopefully those tips help you guys, and let me know if you do have any questions. If you like these tips and you want more help and support as you grow your online wellness business, I'd love to invite you over to the Build Your Wellness Empire community on Facebook, and I will pop the link in so you can join. We go live every week with free trainings. We have 5-day profit focus challenges and tons of free resources and lots of support and collaboration. So love to see you there. Thank you guys so much. Until next time.